All right, how's it going? It's Matt Tomorrow here. Thank you for sharing it, subscribing to my channel. Not sure why these notifications not going out, man. Because everybody else stuff seems to be working except for mine. But that's cool. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about this particular topic and subject, so that way we can be able to move forward. But this is something that you have to see. You have to see this. And you have to stop thinking that you don't learn anything from this process by looking at it go down exactly the way it goes down. Green Machine, I'm gonna get with you a little bit later on today about that interview. But you have to realize that people are going to go about the wrong way to get the right information, because most of these people are so ensconced within the environment that they're currently are in that this is the only way they know how to do stuff. And you have to look at the actual track record of the actual environment to which you're trying to help, so that way you can see how and where things actually go wrong. What's going on, Red Photography Planet? What's going on, Ike? What's going on, Rollo? What's going on, King of Kier, Timothy, Goshen, and Q497? You have to understand that this black space in YouTube is a living petri dish of the things that you're going to go through in Black America. As you can see, there was a debate last night. But the clout chasers and the griftosphere, the people who change their names every 5 minutes, the people who are pro-black 1 minute, but then they're voting with a white supremacist the next minute. Like, dude, as long as there ain't no consequences to be paid within the environment, this is why they want the infinite ability to be able to keep remaking themselves within the environment. Because it's very clear. What's going on, Dallas Cowboys? If you stuck to one specific way of doing business, you would already be at the destination. But within Black America, most people are starved of actual human-based love and attention, to the point to where the only way that they're going to be able to do business is in a specific way and format, so a certain type of person could like you. Or so that way you keep your actual relevance among a certain type of people. So you have to realize that what actually gets the type of attention within the environment. And it is the only people who are hell bent on doing things the wrong way. Now, stop me if this doesn't make any sense to you, because it doesn't make any sense to me. The people who all day are trying to figure out, as if it's some big mystery, how a certain type of woman act within the environment, are somehow the same people who used to talk about white supremacy, are the same people now who's acting like they're on the side of a guy who is representing, or at least acting like he's representing, those people in public right now. How did those people end up on the same side? I can tell you. The point of this was never to move forward. That is what the point was. That's what the point is. The point is to stay at the bottom and try to humiliate the process and prove the simple fact that nothing is going to change. That's what these people are here to do. It's very clear. It's either you're going to deal with women within this environment or not deal with women within this environment. That's very clear, whether or not you're going to do those things. But to act like you have this 1.0 batting average among things within the environment, and that you have faced no consequences for the things in the environment that everybody else have is absolutely ridiculous. But it's not the concept that's ridiculous. It's the fact that a lot of people empower these people within the environment to keep this thing up. And then they have the nerve to actually deliberately misunderstand why there is no progress within the environment. So you have to recognize in Black America, they're hell bent on getting political advice from a shine like Ice Cube rather than go through the proper steps to get the things done properly. That's what they want to do. And they're not happy that Ice Cube did it. They're happy that somebody as dumb as they are is going out there doing something in an inefficient manner to get results. Things that has been going on within this country for the greater part of 200 years were never going to be solved by a single individual walking in there with a piece of paper telling the federal government to sign a contract with them. Then he didn't know anything about the entire process of what was offered before, what was on the table, or anything else. But to most people in Black America, that was the exact way to do it, because Black America loves running up in people's face that they can't possibly battle with. So you have to understand, I'm only here to watch these people mortgage their credibility because they cannot do things the proper way. That's the only reason why I'm here at this point, is to keep doing the after actions and showing you over and over again why these people have no credibility. I know to you it gets tiring. To me, I love it. It's like a petri dish where you see the things go down, and you know they're going to go down a certain type of way because nobody has an extensive track record to which to teach from. So they're stuck trying to be seen by any means necessary, by deliberately misrepresenting things that have a very specific outcome and process. This is why every time you look around, I'm talking to a person who's Black, and every time you look around, they got themselves caught up in some type of financial transactions because they believe what a person said, but they did not care about the track record of the person who was actually talking about what they said. And every time I meet one of these people who got into one of these horrific financial transactions, the only thing that they were sold on the fact that they was going to benefit without work. You need to understand that. Benefit without work. Benefit without going through the proper process. Benefit without going through the proper procedures. Benefit without the proper investment. Benefit without the proper boots on the ground. Benefit without a proper plan. So the reason why these people have attached themselves to the metasphere is to make sure Black men don't make any progress. Don't you get it? That's what they wanted to do. Because any type of Black progress would remove their voice from the actual situation. But see, to these people, a marginal level of success is pretty much worth devouring any type of concept that could have helped thousands of people. Just so 3 or 4 people can make it and look like they're doing well, they'll do anything to stop an overall level of progress for the entire group. That stuff is for real, man. So you have to recognize that this is why people with money don't really mess with or interact with or even try to team with people who don't have money. What you're seeing right now is a microcosm of why that stuff is not the case. So what you have to recognize is that the only type of progress you're going to know and that you're going to want to see is for your own self. You see, they need to cannibalize, deliberately misrepresent things so that way they can make progress within the stuck environment. That's what they want. So you have to understand that the same conversations are being had and the same conversations are effective. It's because nobody truly is making any type of progress. And not only is nobody making any type of real progress, the people who are invested in people not making progress are the loudest voices in the room. And they routinely have been the loudest voices in the room for a long time. Black curls, I agree. The only thing is that's embarrassing is they can't justify the results of where they are. But they are happy exactly where they are. So you have to ask yourself, what group of people would come to a space bent on male forward-thinking thought and achievement? Who would be more invested in shutting that down? Is it the women or is it the men? I'm going to tell you right now, most black men don't want progress. Most black men want access to WAP. Most black men are happy with the way things are. Now, it would be one thing if they would be home and be quiet about it, but they always find themselves in an actual space to where they can sabotage or connect themselves to any type of progress that's going to lead anywhere. And they want to sabotage that specific process and program. It's always been them. And I have never changed my message, by the way. It's been remarkably the same. But they are a moth, and they wanted to see a flame, and they wanted to fly into it. And even though they see what happened to other fellow moths when they fly into the flame, they wanted to do the same thing anyway. So it's not the women. The women benefit no matter what happens. That's the way the environment is set up. Once you have ones out of tens getting kids within the environment has failed. Once men are able to exist without producing within an environment, that environment has failed as well. When you see hucksters, frauds, and clowns with larger audiences with than actual people with tangibles, the environment has failed. But at the end of the day, no matter how much failure that you are surrounded by, you still have the single responsibility of making sure you're not going to be one of them. You're right, unreasonable man. The only power that they want is the power to be around and the power to not have any responsibility being held towards them. That is a type of power. But that power was supposed to be reserved to women who are submissive to a man within the environment. It was not relegated for a man to be submissive to a woman in her environment. You see how it's flipped on his head? They never wanted to be powerful. They only wanted to be sexually satisfied. And at the expense of sexual satisfaction, they decided that they were going to destroy any attempt at progress of removing her validation in the environment away from black men. They were the actual saboteurs. Did they not bring the relationship industry right in here to get you to accept, to bow down to the current circumstances in the environment, even though you and I both know that they are not ideal for creating a family or having a decent relationship. They let them in here. And you have to know and you have to realize and you have to understand that these people specifically have done these things on purpose because they love chaos just as much as the women do. In fact, there is no clear track record with none of these people. Every time you look around, they're into it with another person for some other reason, or they're hosting some abject nonsense on their platform while they attempt to sit there and play coy and non-questioning of it. This is not hard, but it is specific, it's particular, it's straightforward, and you can dodge all of this. The only thing you have to do is stay away from the things that they respect, and that is an uncultured woman. If you stay away from that, and if you have your own accomplishments as a man, and you don't share them with these type of people, you're going to be relatively fine. You just have to go somewhere else or somewhere far somewhere else to find somebody you can deal with that doesn't reflect the worst qualities of what's happening here. So what you have to recognize is, simply put, is that there's a situational dysmorphia that's happening within Black America. Let me tell you about the situational dysmorphia. The situational dysmorphia is that they're trying to have you, a person who don't have their problems, being convinced to have their problems. Somehow you're going to be better off. That's the situational dysmorphia you have within Black America. And it's perpetuated and overseen by Black men trying to misguide other Black men into things that they know is not going to work out for them. I never thought it was the women. I could clearly see it was never the women. How can a culture mess up a specific stepdaddy program of cleanup men who actually cleaned up after their mess? Who actually took care of the responsibilities of others and freely sought and thought being able to do so. For the last 3 years, Black men within this space have destroyed that actual concept of thinking that your life don't belong to you. It belonged to some person who didn't make the proper choices and decisions properly. But these people would do anything for clout and those people respect. Now you see this. It's not hard to see. Today they're conservative. After the election, they're going to be something else. Because that's how grifters work. Grifters don't create anything. Grifters destroy everything that they touch. They bastardize everything that they get involved with. And then they walk away from a specific process or program and turn around and want a fresh set of track record when they go to somewhere else. They don't want to be held responsible for what they put out. You can never find their old stuff that they said 2 or 3 years ago. You can't do it because they don't want their track record actually verified by anybody. Thanks for the 10 pound. I guess that super chat son Hollis right. Yeah, Motiva always stood up for and had the back of the productive uh, underdog in the black community. And for that, I want to thank you for being the voice and representative. Yes, because I used to be that guy. Son Hollis Raw. I used to be that guy. Right after my father had died, right after we lost our standing because, we didn't have, you know, life insurance, we had to go back to the hood. And all those things that I've seen in the hood and the things that I had to do to survive, I did not want that to make my life's mission to keep up for no reason. Yeah, I know what it's like to be rummaging through garbage, picking up cans and taking them to the recycle center for stuff to eat. I know what that's like. I know what it's like going to landfills, cutting the wires from behind of appliances, using barbecue lighter fluid to burn the plastic off of that so the exposed copper can be actually sold. I know what that's like. I'm in my 40s. I know what it's like to chop weeds away from around cotton in the summertime. I know what that's like. Just because I knew what that was like did not mean I wanted to make a life mission out of those type of circumstances. My grandfather never lied to me about how bad the situation was. He wanted me to be dead prepared for what I was running into. There ain't nowhere in the world I would pick a woman that would sperm jack me to put me in those type of situations. Or to put my kids in that type of fucking situation. Dude, I would never do it. I would never do anything like that. And to deliberately do it to prove that somehow I am a different shade of blacker than anybody else, you must be out of your damn mind. So you have to realize, folks, in order to get a proper result, you're going to have to get the proper input to get the proper output. It may sound hard, but it is very easy to do because you're going to be the only person who recognizes that this stuff works, not anyone else. I understand that you want to be accepted by somebody, but you got to be accepted by your damn self first before you mess around and these people be what the actual standard of acceptance is. Just wait till you find out that you could have done all of this stuff without these people. That's what I found out. I was no more mad and upset at myself in my entire life until I crossed the finish line. Crossed the finish line of self-acceptance, crossed the finish line of a viable means of production. That's when I stopped needing a lot of people's help, but I was listening very closely and intently. What I saw within these environments is people who want to sell you access to their own private hell, and they knew that they were doing it. It was no mistake. It was a definite, verifiable, guaranteed conclusion if you met the actual circumstances of it. There ain't nothing wrong with waiting, man. There's nothing wrong with waiting. You think those people who grow up in those cultured environments, you think they're embarrassed by anybody within their culture the moment they're able to be productive at 25 years old and able to take that stuff all the way into their 60s? You think anybody is coming up to them within their culture trying to get those people to come back and help other people who never tried? You think that's happening everywhere? The loudest mouths and the hungriest bellies are not supposed to be the people who are fed or listened to first. Thanks for the $5 super chat, full circle. You have to understand there was a specific plan to hold black men back. How dare they point at the women and blame it on the women when you can leave the women alone? It was these people within this environment. I'm talking about the boomers and Generation X, my generation. I'll tell you, about 85% of the people in my generation is not to be listened to for a goddamn thing. And in the boomer generation, maybe 95 to 98. You were taught to believe in and to think of yourself to be judged by other people's intentions to do good, not a track record of doing good. And that's why we are where we are right now. There's specific people that help you to get to specific places. Sometimes you got to make the grand investment to get the grand result of the investment. If you take your investment and you go to the wrong person with that investment who does the stuff on the side, you may not get what you're paying for because you paid a lot less for it. You got to see it. I'm only telling you so that way you can notice the pattern. It's going to be the same people, same track record, doing the same thing, validating the wrong people for the right reasons, their own reasons. Thanks for the $5 super chat or super sticker, Justin Mark. We got Son Hollis Rod again with a $10, I guess, pound. It's true what they say. Good men are hard to come by. And if the community don't see value in those type of men, then the community doesn't reserve their resources and productivity. You are right about that, Son Hollis Rod, but we had the stepdaddy era that actually made it still true for them, that they were able to see within their lifetime. They were actually able to see, no matter what the woman did within the environment, a man was still going to take them. That's what they saw during their lifetime. They saw exactly what their mothers did behind their father's back, and they still saw her got accepted by a guy that she was not worth. Stop the show. Goshen with $100. Shalom, my fellow Generation Xer. Hey man, Goshen, look man, I don't mind telling these people the truth about the generations and the level of trust. You have a level of execution based on the level of success within the environment. If the level of the success is very low within the environment, then you're going to have the same merit results of the younger generation. Most of these people from these two generations went up to generation, the actual millennials, blaming millennials for the fact that they didn't turn out to the man that they clearly never was. The glorious one. Thanks for the $10 super chat. Say MOT is right. Yes, but I am unafraid to tell you about what these problems are, because you should not be repeating them under any circumstances. Nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is people's ability to grift and clout chase over into something else that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. There is nothing at all wrong with admitting that you made a mistake. There is nothing at all wrong to admit that you was on the wrong path. There is nothing at all wrong that you was the ones joining in trying to humiliate decent working class black men. I'm talking about what you're doing now. Are you really ready to separate and form your own power now? These people are at home around these people. You're not. If the things that you accomplish in your life are great and it's not respected, it's time for you to move the hell on. These people within this environment are hell-bent on being the actual standard with no proof. Not only no proof, they don't want to be compared to any other type of people. But somehow they want to be better than every other type of people. That's what you're surrounded by around here. This is why I say we got the power within ourselves to make things better. But you have got to be the first part of that team. Your life is going to be the definition. Yep. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Zero. Good point. Believe me, I'm better than you, allegedly. That's exactly what they think. I got the respect of the disrespectable. Therefore, I'm better than you. Okay, let's compare it to something. No. We can't compare it to anything tangible. So you have to understand, it wasn't the white hood. It was the black one. It wasn't white supremacy. It was the black supremacists who did this. The same ones who were talking about white supremacy 5 minutes ago are now supporting the guy because he has the same value system that they do. It's not about policy. It's about the value system this guy got. And just like the counterpart, they seem to be in love with people who don't do stuff the right way. In love with people who don't follow the correct and proper programs and procedures. In love with it. And now they come back here to destroy the entire metasphere. Wrenching up women on their channel, but telling you that you can't have women around you. That's what the problem is, folks. I don't have to lie. I can tell you straightforward what the problem is. And the answer is always going to be the same. Leave this stuff alone. You have to understand that these people are at the end of their rope. And you are at the beginning of yours. And there is no way in the hell that you're supposed to be wasting all of your time that you spent getting where you are to be focused on the people who did not respect anything about where you're going. These ain't your people. Because when it comes down to a people without skin color to actually separate them, it's your actual mind state that they practice, and it's the things that they think about and how they go about them. That's what culture's supposed to be. But when you got people who are hell-bent on handing down a system that they know damn well didn't work for them, we got ourselves a problem. We all know what the problems are within this society and environment. But again, we wanted to go to book authors to get information that should have been coming from clinical psychologists. That's what the problem was. We kept wanting to go about the right thing with the wrong type of advice. If you did it the right way, you wouldn't need to do it but once. But if you do it the wrong way, you're going to be doing this stuff for the rest of your life. Do you really want to be doing life without the possibility of parole thanks to your lack of understanding about a simple process? It has to be what you want. And then everybody is expecting everybody else to work and move on their behalf. So that way they don't have to invest as much, but they want the full pull of the actual benefits of the process to which they got a part of. Nobody should be talking about what somebody should be doing in the metasphere. The only thing that should be talked about in the metasphere is who the hell to remove from the concept of thinking that they're part of the metasphere. Jesus didn't come in the middle of the night and overturn them goddamn tables. He did that shit when the motherfuckers were in there to let them know that their ass wasn't welcome in this motherfucker. But don't worry about it. They're going to keep hosting these discussions because they love the chaos of it. They love the misunderstanding of it. They love the fact that this never going to work as long as they exist. They love that shit. And these are the same people who talked about code and principle and all that stuff. When the only thing it meant was a level of protection for the stuff that they was doing within the environment. That's all the code they cared about. They don't even care about the outcome of the boys that they claim they'd speak for. If they did, all you got to do is look at a person and see who they want to represent the group. That'll tell you everything about that individual. Yeah, I had bad representation before. I thought that doing things by shortcuts wouldn't have worked. Hell, I tried it for the greater part of the amount of time that I was in transportation. Let me tell you how I turned it around. I stopped talking to these people that were on the road because they was hell-bent in making sure that your ass never left the road, or that you never got a truck, or that way you never got your authority. So that way you never build a business base. These people were hell bent in making sure that your ass was going to be on the road just like they were. Then I started trying to have conversations with the actual strategic managers and the operations managers of these entire outfits. And that's where I learned all my information. It wasn't about what I did. I was going about it wrong. And I was listening to the wrong people on how to progress. And here's the other thing. Those guys was very generous with giving away the information because they didn't want anything about it from there. Yep. They will always talk about elections don't matter. If it don't matter, then why in the hell is so many people showing up to it? Why in the hell is so many people talking about it? I'm not talking about it on the clout chase tip. We're talking about the future of how things are going to run around here. Back to the transportation thing, though. The only thing I had to bring to the table was my ability to listen and practice what was said. Because what was said had already attached to it all the pitfalls that my ass is going to dodge. Attached to the proper information is always the proper things that you're going to dodge on your way there, specifically. That's why it's a straightforward path. You may look at it as being a long path, but at the end of the day, it's the correct path and it's verified by somebody. These people are not interested in progress. They're interested in your stagnation. Because with your stagnation, they have power. And that power, that money, that paycheck, that relevance, that clout is based on your ass not moving anywhere. And it's based on them speaking for you, knowing that you're not going to move anywhere. This is why my message hadn't changed. I don't have to change. I have a lived verification of being right about this. And I have a track record that you could point to from beginning to end. I haven't changed anything I said. But at the end of the day, a lot of people need to change what they say to stay relevant within the environment. You have to see this. It's going to be repeated in every facet of your life as long as you stay around these people, until you separate, until you make your opinion so far higher than these people with opinion within the environment that they can't tell you shit. Why? You already experienced better things. So they can't come up to you, depending on your abject level of non-sexual satisfaction, to feed you bullshit. That's what they're dependent on. And it's not the women who are selling the shit. It's the men selling the shit. The failed men. The man who dropped out of real life. The man who has to stand on some other shit every 5 minutes, dancing like a $2 fucking whore. Every time you fucking look at them, they got something different in their fucking mouth. Now you can't call niggas educated lames now without niggas throwing something at your ass. Now you can't claim that these problems within the black environment is based on non-sexual satisfaction when it's a hell of a lot more than that. We destroyed those fucking arguments in black America. But now who's back to take those arguments back are those same maggots and fucking cons who we should have left behind in the first fucking place. They came through the fucking door thinking that they was on our fucking side. They couldn't wait to flip the script on our motherfucking ass. They couldn't wait to do it. But guess what? I'm just one fucking person. That's why the metasphere has always been the shit you practice the moment you turn this fucking computer off. The moment you turn that cell phone off from YouTube, that's where the manosphere is at. If you're not going to be doing different shit with all this great information from all these great people from different walks of fucking life, then what the fuck are you doing here? Do you want to see the failure of this culture so much that you want to add your actual hand to the sabotage of it directly? Is that what it is? Because that's what the fuck's going on. Now you see, it ain't the women flagging people's channels or putting people on shadow bans. It's these fucking full-time YouTube niggas doing this shit. Because they don't want black men to go anywhere. They came here for a specific reason, but they want your ass to leave with another specific mission and reason. I can stay on mission. I can stay on code. I can do all that shit. I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of these people, they can't exhibit that. And that's why they're here. That's why they're here in large fucking numbers, saying all the same dumbass shit that everybody else is saying in those fucking communities that are fucking can't survive without decent black men. Take your motherfucking ball and go home. They decided to take their ball and go home. Well, look around, nigga. Everybody got balls around here. Just because you take your ball and go home, nigga, we can still play without your motherfucking ass. We don't need no niggas like this around us. All you had to do was learn about the system. Raise the money. It would take no more than $1 per one black male every fucking election cycle to get some significant change in under 6 fucking years. Thanks for the $100 super chat. I mean, life is out there. The action to get it left behind. Yeah. But these people are hell bent on telling you the things that do matter don't matter. Why the fuck are they doing that? Because they're going to lose their relevance. They're going to lose their paycheck if your ass wake up. They don't want one black man around this motherfucker. The same people who is talking all this shit about all these articles written about the fucking metasphere are the same motherfuckers right now who are actually helping these motherfuckers trying to gain relevance in the same environment. It's not hard to get this stuff together, folks. But at the end of the day, almost nobody wants to go through the process. But everybody wants to benefit from said and such process. That's what we have bred. Thanks for the 999 Super Sticker T3. That's what we are, man. How simple was the facts that I just laid out? There is no labyrinth of bullshit that you need to go through. What you need to do is turn right the fuck around and walk straight out of this motherfucker. You need to know exactly what you're investing in. And you need to write it down whether it's worth going through. I can tell you right now, these people respect are not worth having. Not even for a second. Their respect is worth nothing. They will never tell you that it's not worth anything because they want to be overvalued in the environment, just like the bitch that they chase.
God damn, MOT.
Not be able to fucking invest in the right way to do things. Go ahead, Nicole.
Nah, man, I get no. Oh, holy fuck, you are throwing fucking down. I'm just saying that's the you breaking down some hardcore shit. That's so much of this is the real fucking deal. I really don't have really much else to say. I think y'all know where I'm coming from. I'm just like, yeah, that's tight stuff, man. Just keep it going, man. I don't want to break your rhythm, fam. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's just that, man. Look, that's why they didn't want other people to be voices within the manosphere. They wanted to be the only fucking voice, so that way they could be the only beneficiary of being that voice. Don't you get it? It's the same process from beginning to end. The same people are going to keep practicing the same shit until you get it. This process has never fucking changed in Black America. It's the same fucking people. The loudest voices in the fucking room. The loudest voices of people in the fucking room where the people want to run shit. You ask about their fucking track record, or they have no idea what you're talking about. Because their track record is benefiting off the actual things that are not going right with the society. That's the actual track record. They would never tell you that shit, but that's what the actual track record was. It went from that motherfucker's a sellout to that motherfucker's being accepted. Look how many likes and fucking views he getting. I'm okay with that shit, but at the end of the day, look at where you came to get that shit done. You came to a place where your ass is not even accepted to try to do the shit. Now you got everybody who have seen such things practice within the environment. Not everybody's on that I'm on my own type of thing type shit. I can't wait to clout chase behind anything to make it type shit. When you could have put the correct and proper time in, the proper way to get a proper result. That's what you could have did. But no, you had an improper compass that was pointing in the wrong direction, and now you're hard marching off into a direction to where you're nowhere closer to your destination, to where you started from. Actually, you're 2 times away from where you started from, in the wrong direction. Yeah, everything I see, what they wanted to be. Just the time, not work, not the accolades. But don't worry about it, folks. It's going to be the same people here having the same type of dumbass conversations, and then they're all about how they claim about the future of Black men. That's what they're going to do. Right after this shit. Right after bragging about there's more men than any other man because they went through a whole bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. It's the same type of people. It's the same reason why I left the Black church. Same shit. You got all these improper motherfuckers who want to be seen and fuck these hoes up in there. They ain't trying to save no souls in this bitch. They're trying to put their dick in something in this bitch. That's what it was. Leadership unwilling to get rid of this person because of the money was coming in and the pews were full of people. It showed you the level of principle that they practice. Like I said, I'm an atheist. I don't mind rebuilding the Black church if we can have this shit from the 1800s. That type of shit I would invest in. Give my fucking life to. Shit, I'd drop all my criticism from the fucking church if you could rebuild it to what it was. Because more than anything else, you got to understand the process. That's where the truth is, the process. The truth is not where it's at. It's the people who are on the path to the truth, practicing it, exhibiting it, researching it, questioning it consistently. That's where the truth is at. These are the things that they never wanted you to actually realize within this space. How many people came here on some correcting men's behavior when it came to women, only to turn around to be correcting men's behavior back, to be sold back to the same women? How many of them dudes came around here doing that? How many? Too many. When at the same time, trying to use and weaponize your inability to form a decent relationship within the culture that you want to be respected from, and they want to weaponize that shit against you. That's why they are fucking here. To create more motherfuckers just like them. Not like me. That's exactly what they fucking here for. If you paid attention to them closely, they have never lied about their intentions. They tell you their intentions all the time about the actions that they exhibit within the environment. It hasn't changed. This is how the metasphere came to turn into the music industry, where nobody can be trusted, where everybody give out bad contracts, everybody operates within bad fucking faith. That's why you can't get shit done. There ain't no fucking order. Could you imagine the fucking United States military, where they just allow people to show up and they wanted to represent the United States military any type of way that they fucking wanted to? You would have that chaos on your fucking hands. That's the problem. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to give up their space. They don't want to give up what they stole. You fight harder for what you fucking stole than what you fucking built. You always see these untalented, shine-ass niggas doing this shit. It's always the same. I want to make sure that I spend my whole entire life doing shit the right fucking way to make sure I didn't owe damn nigga nothing. And that shit is possible for you too. But these motherfuckers want you to level up through the non-principled nigga career tree ladder before your ass get to the top, before you recognize that you didn't have to do any of this goddamn shit. Money's fine, but if you're not investing that shit into a proper way and your own time, equity, and fucking happiness, what's the use of happening? What's the use of having money if you have to put on this nigga suit every goddamn day and come out here misleading your own fucking people? What's the point of that? At what point do you not feel sick to your fucking stomach by fucking exhibiting that shit within the fucking environment? But that's okay. These are the niggas who we supposed to keep our mouth closed about. Fuck respect. Motherfucker, respect is earned. Respect within the black community has been turned into, don't criticize me or my path. Show me respect. Show me silence. Show me non-critical thought. That's what the fuck respect is turned into. And that type of respect serves one fucking person. The person who deserves all the fucking criticism. Not the people who can benefit off of the future of seeing things change.
Damn. Spitting pure fire up in here. Holy fuck.
And this is just a piece of what the fuck I'm gonna talk about Friday. Next Friday. About my official opinion of the fucking black manosphere. Just a piece of it. They don't like being held to account, responsibility, no track record. Guess what? All these niggas' videos are gone. You can't verify what these motherfuckers talked about 2 or 3 years ago. They don't want you to know that they changed their fucking mind so many goddamn times to where they look stupid as fuck talking about the shit they talking about right now. They don't want you knowing that shit. My grandfather always said, with somebody like that, there's only one level of respect you show them. Their last fucking respects. That's it. It might be hella messy, but it hit its fucking target every goddamn time when it needs to. You don't have to live like this. You don't have to live under this type of leadership. You don't have to deal with people who exhibit this level of fucking principle. The people who have a better fucking deal leave and don't look back. The people who have a better fucking deal don't worry about where they're fucking going. They know any other place is better than where the fuck they at. And they're not afraid to talk about it. They're not afraid to tell people about it. But they wanted you to exhibit another level of anger within the environment by holding it in and giving you a bullshit resolution on how to handle said issues. Again, it wasn't the women who was doing it. The women was benefiting from it, but they wasn't the ones doing it. It was the fucking men. That's where we at, man. At the end of the fucking day, I'd rather have an army of 2 fucking people than 10 fucking thousand that don't know what the fuck they doing. I will never live around this type of shit. I will never accept this shit. Under no fucking circumstances will I ever accept this shit. Ever. I'd rather fucking die than fucking listen to this type of shit and succumb to letting these motherfuckers running this concept into the fucking ground. There ain't no fucking way I'm gonna let these motherfuckers off the hook with this shit. I haven't even started yet investing in my channel and taking this shit to the level that it could be gone to. I haven't even started doing it. Think about the black male reformation once the shit I talk about become mainstream for most black Americans raised under this type of bullshit within this fucking environment. Then they'll have a lot to be afraid of. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that don't want that shit to happen. It's most of the fuckery profiteers that are here right now. But you have to realize it starts with you. It starts with you picking up that book, going to get some proper fucking help, putting that fucking bottle down, maybe even the fucking weed, leaving these fucking hoes alone, and getting your motherfucking mind right and straight. So that way you can be practicing a singular level thing to a singular level point. Rather than trying to nigga learn shit and practice shit some other fucking way to get to some other fucking point that never gonna happen. But that's where we are right now.
Damn, you want me to come up? I ain't got nothing to say, man. Fuck. I got nothing to say, bro.
No, man, these people owe us. These people owe us. Like I had multiple people telling me that, oh, you wrong for saying Ice Cube should be speaking, but like, what? What? Like, no, man, get proper people to do the proper stuff. You only need to do it once. You don't need to do it multiple times if you're doing the right thing, right? But a lot of these people around this stuff, they go and they see this stuff operating the wrong way, and it becomes so normal to them that somebody telling them the right thing to do seems too simple and too unrealistic because they're too used to it happening another way, the wrong way. That's what happens.
It's a process. It's a process.
And it's not hard, but it's very specific and it's very particular. Chaos don't need a process. It can't be explained. It can only be tried and experienced. And no other answer connects to no other process for anybody else because it affects everybody else differently. That's the problem. They don't want you believing in the actual system nor participating in it if it can provide a level of success that they're not going to benefit from. They don't want no fucking goddamn progress if they cannot specifically benefit from it. They'd rather be that fucking, they'd rather you be the toad who gives that scorpion a ride across that goddamn pond again. That's what they want you to do. And that's on purpose. This cycle, this system, it's on purpose. And all these black academics and black academia, they're not going to try to fight their other academic motherfuckers around here. This shit is a holding position for them. They're not fighting for anything tangible. Because the tangible thing is leave these motherfuckers the fuck alone. Where are all these PhDs at who's telling you to leave this shit alone? There are none of them. They don't even exist. They're trying to make it look like it's your goddamn cultural birthright to fuck with this shit like this. Well, you know the success rate is very fucking low. And even when it's very fucking low, it's not guaranteed. You can have, that person could wake up tomorrow, have a post hoc rationalization that's going to benefit her, and she's out of there. That's the thing, man. That's where we are. We are at that point right now. then in about 10 or 11 days, everybody who said all this shit about supporting this dude for bullshit fucking reason that had nothing to do with policy would disappear. They'll take the videos down. They'll just change it up. And then they'll go back right back to the same goddamn thing that they were doing before that. Trying to find something else to clout chase off of. Ghost watching everybody and all that stupid shit. When your ass is wrong, you got to ghost watch a lot of people. You be lying in wait, afraid like a motherfucker that somebody's going to point out how full of shit you are. I'm not going to go after you, not directly. I just take your fucking ideas away from you. Because a person is nothing without their ideas, even bad ones. But that's just where we at, man. And you have to understand that black Americans are hell-bent on going to the wrong people for the right solutions. It's because they don't believe in themselves enough to respect the benefit of it. They're only taught to respect the benefit of it if they can share with everybody. And not really share it with like-minded people. They want to share it with non-like-minded people. The people who never had a track record of respecting anything. That's what they're trying to share the shit with. That's what we are. It's fucked up, but that's what we are. There's nothing wrong with saying the truth. The truth is very easy. Not adjusted to the truth, and you know the truth, that's a lifetime of hell. Why do you want to do that shit? I haven't asked you to buy a product yet. I'm telling you to change this shit so you can have a better outcome. I want you to be great about a fucking outcome. The moment when you realize that this shit was fucking wrong and you turn it around. That's what I want you to do. There's a lot of pookie tainers in these motherfuckers. Acting out these pale lookies. No, these pale pookie motherfuckers who did all this shit and made all this stupid shit happen. At the end of the fucking day, you've got to be able to change the shit for yourself, man. But you got to take the system as seriously as everybody else do. You think those other people who benefit off the system where it is out there talking to each other about not voting?
Crazy.
Think they doing that? You think they're doing that? They're not doing that.
They shit, man. Their system, they're trying to deny you from voting. Some of them are.
That's what I'm saying, man. A practice level of principle will always net you a specific level of result. I'm going to repeat that. A practice level of principle will always net you a specific level of result. But you have to believe that doing the right things the right way will net you a result before you even get started. Because you can go down that road, your ass can be easily compromised, and then you turn around and doing the same shit you was doing. You gave up easy. You let them back in. Most of this stuff is a self-esteem problem, man. You want to feel validated and verified by people, I get it. I had to spend a lot of time by myself so that way I could fucking have my fucking personality reset. I had to know what it felt like to not have these people around and still feel safety and results. I had to know what that felt like. It's never going to change for you, man, unless you start believing in yourself. Stop believing in these motherfuckers who's trying to solely benefit off you. A lot of people have a hell of a lot more practice principle in believing those motherfuckers than believing the path. I don't understand how that works. I don't get it. Oh, you go ahead and go.
No, I'm just going to back up pretty much, pretty much all you said. It is about, at the end of the day, getting a good result, putting your heads together and getting a good result. mentoring a couple of cats. One of them, that you and I talked to, young cat out there, moving real strong out here right now. Got him on his Espanol language, got him, getting his coding game together, got him back. He's getting his trucking piece right, but he's putting a lot of pieces together, and he definitely needs to be guided through a little bit. And it's good that he has people that he can talk to in which to get some of this guidance. So I think that's very important that can be provided or presented here. And I know other brothers are definitely talking with other cats and getting their minds right. I definitely know that for sure. But that's the kind of game that we have to be on, and really be on code and game about this politics and a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we need to be thinking about and putting together to get good results. And that's primarily kind of here what you're talking about. And there's a lot of other shit. Walking is all good. That's total bullshit. That's absolutely fucking useless. And I see that. I understand the entertainment side of what goes on in Metasphere. I understand it. I don't really have a huge problem with it, to be quite frank with you. But some of this stuff is just it's gone way out there, and we have to look at what are we really doing? What results are we really getting out of it? And how much time are we wasting with some of this stuff? Well, depends on the brothers and the sisters who are out here who are looking. But I would like us to think about also having good results to what we're trying to achieve. And that's a process. And I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I mean, you kind of went real hard here, and I don't really have a lot to say about that, man. You did your thing, so I'm gonna let it stand as is. That's all I have to say about it. I try to make sure that, hey, you young brothers out here, my loyalty is more towards the young cats. Keeping your mind right and really staying on focus and trying to get a good result out of what you're trying to achieve is very important. And you're going to need other people to work with you to do that at times. And I think that's with a manosphere or so forth should help to provide also. And keep your consciousness up, keep our eyes open to real deal stuff that affects us the most. Because you can see, brothers out here in the society and culture, we take a lot of hits, and we want to have a lot of successes. Anyway, go ahead, MOT. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I want to thank for the people coming through. I'm gonna be making a lot of changes to my channel coming soon, so that way we can have a space, so that way I ain't got to worry about this YouTube stuff. So that way we can pretty much cut loose and make sure that we get a proper result for people. Because we gotta have that. We gotta have something to show people. Because nothing is going to be any more better than a verified result from an ordinary person who practiced principle and they got exactly what they wanted out of it after a specific period of time. That's what we're working towards. There's a lot of people who's working against it. And it's time to show them people the door. You don't show them the door by kicking them out. You make it very uncomfortable for them to be here, saying the stuff that they are saying, changing their minds on what they are changing it into within the same environment. That's how you do this stuff. So let me get on out of here. I wasn't planning on going live today, but we got to be able to do better. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And man, tomorrow you guys have a really nice day. Thanks for the super chats. Peace.
Peace.